open source version of Fraps. Search for it on SourceForge, Taxi. So you can screen capture your games. Cam Studio was not meant to screen capture games. Taxi was. It can capture DirectX simulation and OpenGL. Now for drawing and image software. Inkscape is a really cool program for vector art. IrfanView is a really lightweight program for opening images very, very quickly, instead of having GIMP or Photoshop open them by default. GIMP or GIMP Shop is a really good editing program, image editing program that can replace Photoshop. A lot of people have complained about the interface, so they made a new one called GIMP Shop that's basically the same thing as GIMP with a different interface. FreeMind is a mind mapping tool. It can basically let you visually organize your thoughts. Scribus is an editing program like Adobe InDesign that can set up brochures and basically pamphlets and that kind of thing. It's really cool, and all of them are completely free, of course. Okay, now for some useful programs I couldn't really categorize. Foxit Reader opens PDF documents really fast. At one point or another, you're going to accidentally open a PDF document, or have to open it, and you're going to want Foxit Reader because it's very fast, it's free, and it's way better than Adobe Reader. Firebird is a program that replaces Microsoft Outlook Express, and they also have a Thunderbird calendar. It's basically by the same company that made Mozilla Firefox. For programmers, we have FileZilla, PuTTY, and WinSCP, which is basically file transfer, and SSH. OpenOffice is the most well-known program because it replaces Microsoft Office, which includes Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. It can basically do almost exactly the same things and probably even more. PDF Creator, basically when you go to File Print in any program, PDF Creator will set it exactly as it prints out on your printer, except it'll create a PDF document instead. So it's really useful. Just go to File Print, and instead of selecting your printer, select PDF Creator. Blender is a 3D rendering program. It's really, really good. It's similar to 3ds Max and Maya and those type of programs. Bryce, I don't know. Juice and FeedReader. Juice is basically for podcasts and videos, basically media-based RSS feeds. FeedReader will load any type of RSS feed and basically give you a notification when any of the feeds you have subscribed to have updated. Okay, now for programming. For C++, I recommend wxwidgets with dev C++. Just search for this on Google. Basically, with wxwidgets, you can compile the source code you make in any operating system. So if you're going to get started, don't learn the Windows 32 framework, learn the wxwidgets framework. XAMPP allows you to install PHP, Apache, Perl, and MySQL at the same time. An alternative one is Instant Rails, which focuses more on the Ruby programming language rather than PHP. I recommend you install Cygwin, which has a whole bunch of ports, a whole bunch of the same programs in Linux ported to Windows. Python is a really cool programming language if you're a beginner. It's pretty simple to learn and it has a lot of documentation. PyCron is a replacement for your Windows task scheduler. It works a lot like the cron jobs in Linux. Now for learning, for all students, I highly recommend the program Hot Potatoes. It's like the ultimate flashcard program. You can test yourself in like 6 different ways, and then after you make the program to test yourself, you can send it to friends. So it's a really cool program. I made a similar one called buildquiz.com. It's online. It doesn't require download. You can generate quizzes and test yourself over and over, and even send the link to the friends so your friends can study the same stuff. There's also a program called Solfege for all you musicians out there. It's an ear training program that's super fully featured. There's also programs that are GraphCalc, FreeMats. Basically, there's there's a whole bunch of free math programs. Like GraphCalc will replace your TI-86 or 85 calculator. It basically provides the same functionality. FreeMats can replace MATLAB and give you similar functions. I won't go into them. If you're really interested, you can search for them. Okay, now I'm going to end with emulation. You can basically play console games on your computer. I'm not going to go into them too much. For the PlayStation 2, you need PCSX2. However, you need a really fast computer to actually run this program. For PlayStation, there's EPSXE and ConnectX Visual Game Station. Both work really well on commercial games. For Super Nintendo, there's ZSNES, which is one of the most downloaded programs on SourceForge. For NES, there's Virtual NES, which without the L, so I guess it's Virtua NES or something. For Game Boy Advance and Nintendo DS, there's no and then $GBA. And it's actually a really good DS emulator. I'm surprised. It can actually run many programs. For a Nintendo 64, there's Project 64. For Neo Geo, there's Neo Geo Rage. And for MAME, there's MAME 32. Oh, and the programming font I'm using right now is called Proggy Fonts. Just search Proggy Fonts on Google, and it'll give you the set. Anyways, thanks for listening.